A PSA from Instacart. It's Sunday, 5 p.m. You had a non-stop weekend. You're running on empty, and so is your fridge. You're in the trenches of the Sunday scaries. You don't have it in you to go to the store, but this is your reminder. You don't have to. You can get everything you need delivered through Instacart so that you can get what you really need. More time to do whatever you want. Instacart. For one less Sunday scary, we're here.
On today's Smart 7, Israelis and Palestinians celebrate ceasefire. Chancellor warned on wealth tax and much more. It's Tuesday, 14th of October. It's National Dessert Day and happy birthday, Steve Coogan.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Monday saw celebrations across the Middle East as a ceasefire began in Gaza. 20 living Israeli hostages were delivered back to their families, and over 250 Palestinian prisoners and 1,700 people who had been detained without charge by Israel were released. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi called for the Gaza war to be the last of wars in the region, although much concern remains over the next steps in the complicated peace process. Donald Trump arrived on Air Force One, speaking at Israel's parliament and hosting a peace summit with over 20 world leaders in Egypt at Sharm el-Sheikh.
This is not only the end of a war. This is the end of an age of terror and death and the beginning of the age of faith and hope. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
Trump seems confident that all of the elements in the 20-point plan for peace, which include Hamas disarming, Israel withdrawing its forces at least partly from Gaza, and the implementation of a new peace board, are within reach. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu was also sounding positive as he addressed the Israeli parliament with Trump as an honoured guest.
Mr. President, you are committed to this peace. I am committed to this peace. And together, Mr. President, we will achieve this peace.
The peace conference in Egypt was a who's who of global leaders, including Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, along with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. There was also a diplomatic row in the UK as the US ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, publicly dismissed an attempt by Bridget Phillipson to claim some credit for the peace deal. Her claim was later backed up by Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff, who praised the vital role played by the UK. Tory leader Kemi Badenoch found the whole thing embarrassing.
I was not born yesterday. The American ambassador to Israel has actually criticised the government, saying they are delusional for saying that they had anything to do with this peace deal. I think that that is quite tragic, the way that the UK's reputation is falling under this Labour government.
Former Labour PM Tony Blair was due to take a seat on Donald Trump's peace board, but it appeared on Monday as though Trump has cooled on that idea, perhaps because of pushback from Middle Eastern allies. Middle East Minister Hamish Falconer was still supporting him, however.
Tony Blair has got long experience in the region. President Trump singled him out in the 20-point plan and in some of the communications around it for having played a useful role, and I welcome that and commend that.
We're still about 6 weeks away from the Chancellor's autumn budget, but already Rachel Reeves is getting advice from all sides on what she should do. She's got to walk a delicate line to maintain the fiscal rules on borrowing, while also propping up a faltering economy. And it's widely expected that she will introduce tax rises, but it's not clear what that might entail. The Institute for Fiscal Studies warned the Chancellor against what they called directionless tinkering and half-baked fixes on Monday, suggesting that this is not the time for a wealth tax, but that there are a number of opportunities to target the wealthy. Helen Miller is a director of the Institute for Fiscal Studies.
This would be a great place for her to look, but again, I think the mistake to make would be just to try to increase tax rates. Importantly, that point about don't just shove up rates, think about the design of those taxes first.
Donald Trump hasn't forgotten about Russia's war in Ukraine, it seems, even as he celebrated a ceasefire and hostage releases in Gaza. He's threatened again to provide long-range Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. Speaking on the plane to the Middle East on Monday morning, Trump said he might talk to Putin and recognised that Tomahawks are a new step of aggression. Ukrainian President Zelensky is due to meet Trump on Friday at the White House. In the meantime, Ukraine's European partners are pushing ahead with funding to help Ukraine's energy network cope with ongoing Russian strikes, with EU Foreign Affairs Chief Kaja Kallas in Kyiv on Monday.
The European Union has already mobilised 800 million euros to support Ukraine this winter. We are working on an extra 100 million euros for generators, shelters and cold weather gear. Russia has dashed any hope of quick peace, so we are planning for the long haul.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, in association with Metro, Wales struggle with Belgium, and the record-breaking Taylor Swift has a surprise for you. Right after this.
Monday Sidekick, the AI agent that knows you and your business, thinks ahead and takes action. Ask it anything, seriously. Monday Sidekick, AI you'll love to use. Start a free trial today on monday.com.
Welcome back.
Monday night saw more World Cup qualifying action, with Northern Ireland facing Germany and Wales welcoming Belgium. England are in Latvia on Tuesday for their next game, hoping to continue Thomas Tuchel's perfect start to their group so far. Things didn't go well for the home sides on Monday, with Northern Ireland losing 1-0 to Germany and Craig Bellamy's Welsh side struggling to contain Belgium. The game finished 4-2 to the Belgians, which saw them automatically qualify for the World Cup draw and leaves Wales with work to do.
I can't ask for more. I mean, and it's like not a consolation. I think it still hurts, still really disappointed. But there's moments in that game I only see growth in us.
It's that time of year. The nights get dark and cold, and Strictly is on the telly. That means it's been almost a year since actor and comedian Chris McCausland won the Glitterball trophy, defying all expectations as the first blind contestant. He's been speaking to The Times and Virgin Radio about his experience of the competition and just how gruelling it was each week. He also spoke to Chris Evans about what it was like to lose his sight at 22.
There's frustrations along the way, and one of the most obvious frustrations is the amount of things that you end up walking into and banging into, and items of furniture. I mean, I say it like I've swore at so many items of furniture in my life. It's bordering on insanity.
Taylor Swift's Life of a Showgirl shattered Billboard Hot 100 records this weekend. She had her 15th #1 album, which places her second only to the Beatles in terms of chart success. Plus, Life of a Showgirl also broke all sales records back as far as 1991, when the modern chart system was established, as she sold over 4 million copies in the first week, beating Adele's previous record. But Taylor wasn't done there. She also popped up on Good Morning America to announce not one but two projects about the Eras tour, which drop on Disney Plus in December. There's a full-length concert film and a 6-part behind-the-scenes documentary called The End of an Era.
We have broken every single record you can break with this tour.
She's having the time of her life.
The only thing left
1, 2, 3
is to close the book.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day.
Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.